The White House says it is suspending the Jones Act. In a statement to CNBC just a couple of minutes ago, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt had this to say. She said President Trump's decision to issue a 60-day Jones Act waiver is just another step to mitigate the short-term disruptions to the oil market as the U.S. military continues meeting the objectives of Operation Epic Fury. She says this action will allow vital resources like oil, natural gas, fertilizer, and coal to flow freely to U.S. ports for 60 days, and the administration remains committed to continuing to strengthen our critical supply chains. So the White House arguing here that this rule, suspension, remember, the Jones Act is the law that says that ships transiting from U.S. port to U.S. port ought to be U.S. owned and U.S. operated. That's been blamed for high shipping costs because allowing international ships into those lanes would presumably lower costs. That is expected to have some impact, although it's not exactly clear how much, on oil prices, particularly on the East Coast of the United States. So we'll see what that impact is as the day unfolds. Meanwhile, the president has been expressing some frustration on social media. Take a look at his Truth Social post from earlier this morning. The president sort of considering the idea here of just abandoning the Strait of Hormuz. He says, I wonder what would happen if we finished off what's left of the Iranian terror state and let the countries that use it, we don't, be responsible for the so-called strait. That would get some of our non-responsive allies in gear and fast. The president really frustrated here over about 3 days with the refusal of NATO allies to send naval support to the Strait of Hormuz to help the United States Navy clear that strait and reopen traffic for global oil supplies. And the president there sort of venting that frustration, saying, well, what if we just leave it? They'll have to do something then. And we heard Karoline Leavitt, the White House press secretary, on TV